Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. You guys are ready to get the day started? I know I am. Let's do the introduction. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show, where we're having confessions and conversations about your everyday life. My name is Yarmitra Jojo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy special. So, what better place to be than here with me? Good morning. Good morning. Please make sure you share the show because sharing is caring. If your friends and family don't have Facebook, send them over to the YouTube channel. They can binge watch all the Fearless Morning shows over there, as well as subscribe to them because they cost you nothing to subscribe. And I greatly appreciate it when you do that. So I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you had a good day yesterday. Hope you enjoyed the show yesterday. It was a beautiful day. It's going to be an even more beautiful day today. So let's get it started. So yesterday we talked about disrespect of time. That's what we talked about yesterday, the disrespect of time and how we disrespect ourselves first, right? And what that looks like. And why disrespecting ourselves is we respect everybody but ourselves. Even though we say we respect ourselves, we really don't. Because we will be at work on time. We will, make sacrifices in relationships. We'll help our family. But when we say something to ourselves, we do not hold ourselves to what we said we were going to do. And therefore we disrespect ourselves. And then we get mad and angry when things don't work out, when it was just us disrespecting ourselves. So today I want to talk about wide acknowledgement. And what is wide acknowledgement? And I use these two words because there's two different topics, and y'all know how I like combining things. And so, wide acknowledgement. When we acknowledge our limitations, and so this was yesterday morning, myself woke me up at 5:44, and we had this conversation. And these are some of the thoughts that came to me. And when we, and this was for me, like when I say, oh, I'm eating right because of this, and this, I lead with my limitations first, which negates what I'm doing. So when I look at acknowledgement, when we are changing or when we have decided that we're going to change our life, right? When we start by acknowledging our limitations first, when we start by explaining first why we are doing something, it cancels out the good that we wanted to achieve, the good that we wanted to receive from it. So when I said, hey, I'm eating right because, I got stomach problems, and then I spend 20 minutes justifying and acknowledging my limitations of my stomach issues and problems. And then I get to the but, I'm eating right because I don't want, well, I just negated everything that I just said, the end part, which is me living healthy and better. And so a realization that I had a while ago, say the separation between the two. So if you say, I'm doing this, and this is where the disrespect of ourselves can come in, is when you say you're going to do something, number one, you don't hold yourself to it. Good morning, Kimberly. You don't hold yourself to it. So now you've disrespected yourself, but in that disrespect of yourself, in the acknowledgement of things, you have acknowledged the limitation first before you acknowledge the good thing. And so what I found for myself is that in the separation of, so the girls always say, Mama, you're going to be a fit 80-year-old. Like when we have kids, they're going to be like, my grandma is so fit and she's so this. And you have to think that the separation between what you say you want to be and where you are. Good morning, Dewan. that separation has to be small. Meaning, if I'm going to be fit at 80, I can't wait to 80 to be fit. The journey starts now. So there's no separation. Insert boxing class. Y'all know I love boxing. I've been boxing for about 5 years now. Insert boxing class. Insert going back to workout. Insert my personal trainer again. There's no separation. So when we acknowledge our limitations first, so if I say, hey, and again, this woke me up at 5:44 yesterday. Like, Jojo, why are you acknowledging the limitations first before you acknowledge the change that is coming? That's canceling out what you say you want. So if I am eating better because of stomach problems and I'm spending 30 minutes explaining my stomach problems, my focus is on that. Whatever, and y'all know how I feel about complaining. There was a study that said if you listen to 30 minutes of complaining, it literally kills your brain cells. So y'all know, and so here I am complaining on the inside of me. And so I'm just tearing up brain cells altogether. So you got to be mindful of what you give words to. So when we acknowledge our limitations first, explaining why we're doing something, explaining why I'm fixing to do this thing here, it negates the reason why I'm doing it. Why can't I lead with my affirmative first? Okay, lead with the affirmative first, right? And the second one is the second thought that I had, why I put wide acknowledgement, because if you're a God's girl, in the Bible it says, and please, I'm gonna mess up this Bible verse because I don't know it. It says, wide is the way, but narrow is the gate. Is something to that effect. So when I think about when you think about your mindset, when you think about everything that goes on in the day, and you see you have a floodgate of thoughts. Good morning, Tammy. You have a floodgate of thoughts that come in. They are huge. It's an open field of thoughts. You'd be surprised the thoughts that you have in a day, instant. Like, your mind really goes a million miles an hour, thoughts that you don't even acknowledge and think about. But narrow is the gate, meaning this is what am I going to, out of all the thoughts, what am I going to focus on? And it's in that focus that I begin to acknowledge what's fixing to happen. If I, out of all these thoughts, right? If I, out of a gazillion thoughts I have a day, which are wide and vast, if my focus is on the few negative, I ain't got, I am broke, I will be broke, I am poor, I hate my job. If I focus on those things, those are the only things that get inside of me, and those are the only things that I can acknowledge. So when you have those wide open thoughts, you can pick and choose which one gets into the narrow gate. I'm not saying the thoughts won't come, because there's days and I'm like, Jojo, who the hell are you to be doing the morning show? That's a wide thought. The narrow gate is, I am Jojo from North Carolina. That's who I am. That's what comes through the gate. So when you pick in your narrow gate, in your focus, you are responsible for the words that come into that gate. You are. Nobody else. Now listen, my ex-abuser, yes, he gave me words, and yes, I took them in. When I got away and understood the process of things, those are the words that I kicked back out, and they're no longer allowed in my gate. So when we look at our wide acknowledgement, right? All the things, whatever I acknowledge first is whatever I think of, because you can only have one dominant thought. So whatever I acknowledge first or honor first is what's going to come through my narrow gate. So if I open up my mouth to say, oh, I got stomach problems and this, and this is what's coming through the gate. The last words that come through the gate, oh, but I'm healed. But you just spent 30 minutes saying why you ain't. So you got to choose which words are going to be able to come through this narrow gate. Wide acknowledgement, 1,000 thoughts. Which ones are going to be allowed in? So let's go back to yesterday with the disrespect of ourselves, disrespect of time. We don't take advantage of the time that we have. Every day we have the opportunity, and for the people who do too much, not really, they're just taking advantage of the time that they have and we don't. And then I disrespect myself by not doing what I said I was going to do. I hold everybody else accountable, but not me. Girl, I ain't got time for that. You do, but you don't want to. It's easy to say I don't want to than to make an excuse for why you do, because now you're disrespecting your thought. Because out of all the wide thoughts that you could acknowledge, that thought came through your narrow gate. Now, I've used every analogy from Team Abundance. If y'all been with me for a while, y'all know we did Team Abundance for almost a year. From building a house to small business to a garden. All of it requires that attention be paid to the words that are coming out of your mouth. Y'all know every morning I wake up, I give my words and my breath direction. If you do not give your words and your breath direction, you will continuously flip over what you say you ain't fixing to do. Because what you ain't fixing to do is what's prominent in your thoughts. That's what's in your narrow gate, and that's what keeps showing up and highlighting itself. So if I don't give my words and my breath direction, if I don't speak life to them every morning, right? If I don't allow life to come out, what's the opposite of that? So I was talking to a holistic doctor, and I was like, you know what? I've been drinking kombucha because I really like it. Like, it tastes good. It makes my stomach feel better. He was like, I want you to think about it this way. He said it's fermented. I was like, yes. He was like, so fermented is at the spectrum of death end. So if you have this stomach problems issue, why would you put something that is close to death inside of your body? You need to be on the other spectrum and put things that are living in your body. Hence, you need to stay more on the fruit side. Some vegetables if you have to. But past this point, you don't need nothing on the death end. And I never thought about it that way. So when we think about our body, if we're in our wide acknowledgement and looking at all the things, are we constantly choosing death to come through our narrow gate? Death in our thoughts, in our mindset, in our words, in our actions. So if you are in health, y'all, is just easier for me to, and it's an easy example. So if you are diabetic, you have heart problems, like my sister, bless her heart, she has heart problems. If you have heart problems and she's had heart attacks and all the things, is it helping you to continue to do the same thing that got you to the heart attack status? Is that life or death? So every second of the day, you have the option to choose life or death, because one of the two are coming. Yeah, he said no to probiotics too, Kim. He did give me, for those that don't know, I love herbalism, and I'm working on getting my license as a herbalist. And so I have a list of herbs and stuff to take for that. But listen, when your food, your activity is either going to give you life or death. And y'all, it was yesterday I had to respect myself, right? Yesterday I had to respect myself because I wanted some Chick-fil-A French fries so bad. Like, the car was pulling into Chick-fil-A on its own accord. I was like, ooh, French fries. And for those that know me, know I love me a good French fry. And before I could turn on the blinker, I was like, life or death? Oh, life. I ate the apple that was in my seat. I drank the water bottle that was there. So if I'm looking at the wide acknowledgement, and if I'm looking at the disrespect of time, yeah, it absolutely. It's what we give voice to. And then and if y'all interested, I'll do a whole little show and share what he shared with me about my health. Like, he told me things that I didn't even fill out on my sheet, like that I have problems with my throat. He said, you have problems in your shoulder. Like, he gave, like, it was an hour and 30 minutes of how my body was not operating correctly. It was money well spent. And some of the stuff I was like, how did you even know? He was like, if you pay attention to your body is telling you these things. You're just focused on something else. So, wide acknowledgement. All the things are coming through. This part, wide is the what did I say? Wide is the way, but narrow is the gate. What are you allowing inside the gate? And then when it gets here, what are you acknowledging about what's coming in? Are they welcoming words that come into your gate? And your gate is your eyes, your ears, your mouth, your nose, your skin. You know, what is coming into this thing that is you? Right? Are you acknowledging the good? Or are you acknowledging the life or the death? Because it's one of the two. So every day you're giving life to the words that are bubbling out of your throat. Now, if you're going to disrespect yourself and you're going to disrespect yourself and not honor your time, or you're going to honor your time and respect yourself. Because listen, whether I ate right or not, it was the same time. I don't have time to fix something. I'm hungry right now. You knew this moment was coming, JoJo. You didn't prepare. So now you're going to disrespect yourself and do this. And y'all, this is a ongoing journey. Like y'all remember my circle of me? As we get deeper in this circle, right? And we figure things out and we peel back the layers. We've placed a healing marker here. Like the healing marker has been there, now it's getting a little bit deeper. So on this great, most amazing day, when we acknowledge our limitations first by explaining why we're doing something. Because some people, they're going to argue for your limitations, argue for the limitation. And I got to tell my sister, I'm talking about her on the morning show. Like my sister, bless her heart, she had 3 heart attacks, died 3 times, came back. Thank you, Jesus. Right? And on top of that, I came home and I cleaned out all the cabinets, because you'd be surprised how much sugar is in stuff that you don't think sugar is in, and salt. And so we set up her diet, and she was like, I'm not fixing to eat this. This is nasty. I'm not fixing to eat this, JoJo. I'm not. Good morning, Shay. She didn't want it. So we're like 5 years after heart attack now. Eating habits haven't changed, but health problems have increased. Now, here is where we get frustrated with ourselves. Here's where the disrespect of ourselves gets in the way. Right. They want to stay right where they are. So she's here. And now, so before, when she had the heart attack, she might have been here. But because there's been no change and health problems have increased, she's here. Well, now when you're here and you say, oh, but I want to change, because I've disrespected myself up until this point. In my wide acknowledgement and in my narrow gate, I've allowed all the death to come in. So now I want to change things. But I'm up here, right? And I'm trying to bring it down. I'm trying to level it out to start over, whatever, however you want to say it. Well, now it's harder because now I have more problems than when I started out here. So now you're mad at yourself, right? Now you're mad, and then you think, because you want it fast. It's going to take me 2 years. It's going to take me a year to lose this weight. It's going to take me forever to do this and this and this. And you are honoring your limitations and speaking for them. So you will never come here. You will never level out. You will never put a healing marker. You'll never start over, because the first words out of your mouth is the honor of your limitations and the disrespect of yourself and your time. The same time it takes for you to pop a pill is the same time it's going to take for you to walk around the house. But by the time you go find it, fix you a cup of water, swallow all of it. Well, it's too expensive to eat healthy. This is what I know. I've been in healthcare for 21 years. Yes, 22, about to be 22 years. The same, if my medicine costs me $300 a month, and you tell me my body cannot operate without this medicine, that same $300 is going to buy your fruits and vegetables and maybe some herbs and vitamins that are going to help you come off of this. Same $300 is the respect that you're putting on it. 300 for health, 300 for death. Which way you fixing to go? And then you'll say, well, my doctor said I can't come off of this because I didn't say stop taking your medicine. I'm not saying disrespect your doctor. I'm saying, can you take one of them pill bottom medicines that you taking now and replace it with the fruit, vegetable, even if you ain't fixing to eat right? Can you walk down the street? Can you walk around the house? Can you park further away from Walmart and walk in? It's the same time. It is the narrow gate that's going to get you there. Same thing. Now, you can argue with me because listen, my sister has cussed me out many a day. Judge, don't nobody like eating them sticks and trees like you. Because when I come home, yeah, and listen, I love my sister, but she thinks drinking iced tea is water because you made it with water. She thinks drinking Kool-Aid is water because you made it with water. Now, this is a girl who refuses to take her water pill. Jojo, I can't breathe because, and she has asthma now. I can't breathe. What'd you eat today? Well, I went to McDonald's, or I had this. And narrow is the gate, friend. Wide acknowledgement, narrow is the gate, limitations. It's whatever we choose is what I'm honoring. So you, Jojo, you can't say you don't have time to eat right. You should say and honor yourself, I don't want to. Because when you say I don't have time, you lying. You got time because you go sit on the couch and you'll watch 2 or 3 episodes of a show. Or you get on the phone or TikTok or Facebook and you'll spend an hour or 2 doing that. Well, I gotta have some kind of relief in my life. It's gonna be the relief of death because that's where you hidden. If you want to watch your TV show, honey, prop that phone up in the kitchen while you prep your food and your vegetables. Go ahead and get it out the way. Even if you got to say, I don't feel like doing this, go ahead and get it. Let me go ahead and get this out the way. And then when you prepare your food, prepare it with a grateful and thankful heart. Because when you prepare food, listen, everything is energy and everything is energy. So if I'm making my food from anger, frustration, and I don't want it, that's what I'm going to feed my body. My body's going to say, oh, she's mad because I feel the energy of her madness. So when you eat it, you're eating anger and frustration. I promise this stuff is real. So I'm not saying don't take your medication. I'm not saying don't do any of that. I'm saying, can you add to what you're already doing? You don't know what you like because you ain't never. So the rule in my house is you can't say you don't like it. So we don't. 90% of the time, we don't eat meat. We eat fruits and vegetables only. Yesterday, dinner was mushroom steaks with a salad with cilantro and some onions. And I had seasoned and marinated those mushrooms, honey, and put them on the grill. They was good. So the rule in my house is you can't tell me you don't like something you ain't never tried it. And or if it has the same things that you eat, but they're combined together. So if in a dish, it has tomatoes, onions, corn. Well, we don't try not to eat corn, but if it has tomatoes, onions, whatever it is, if separately you would eat those things, you can eat them together. It has all the things that you like. So you're going to try it. And one bite ain't enough for you to know it's nasty. My kids hate me, but now it's a new thing. We try different and new things all the time. So 90% of the time we are vegan. We take the time to make I don't, Rosie does, to make our own pasta. We don't buy tofu because tofu is soybeans and that's on the death end. We make our own. You get your proteins from plants and vegetables. They all have protein. The bean that I eat is chickpea. I make everything out of chickpea. You can listen. My friends will tell you, girl, you can't get your protein. They will argue me down. You can't get your protein. You need a piece of meat. No, friend, you don't. And that's, you have to begin to remember that wide and narrow gate. You got to start thinking, as you start to think bigger and more information comes in, you got to get the right information in. Because it's easier for me to say, yeah, you got to have meat, because then the meat, y'all, and I love me a good piece of chicken and some shrimp, but I do. But that meat has to sit in your stomach and decay first, more than what it already is, before your body can digest it. That doesn't. Mm-mm. But then that's not the point. If you, in your acknowledgement of things, you acknowledge your limitations first of why you can't do it, why it's not working, that's what's going to come through your narrow gate. You can continue to pay money for, you may have, like Jerry has migraines too. You may have the migraines, you may have all the things, but honey, if you could start a good detox and be committed to 21 days, twice a year I do the D-Herbs 21-day detox. And in those 21 days, you do only fruits and vegetables. You can say, and here's the thing, but JoJo, it costs too much. But faithfully, you go to CVS, Walgreens, Smith Drugs, you go there and you buy your medicine without, let you get down to 2 high blood pressure pills. Let you get down to 2 high cholesterol pills. Or heaven forbid, if you're taking a cholesterol shot in the stomach, I got to find that money for that shot because you know my cholesterol high. And then before you know it, you are honoring your sickness and your, instead of your health. This is all true. If you don't believe me, take a look at your life. I can't breathe. Do you honor your health by walking? Or are you honoring your body by feeding it life? JoJo, ain't nobody got time for that. That's too hard. That used to be my favorite word, but it's hard. I didn't say it was easy. I said life and death are here. Every day you give your life and death, right? What? The one, girl, let me tell you something. You can get, and then here comes the disrespect of self. Then you big mad because these doctors, they be ripping me off. So now you sick. You got to go to the doctor. So now you got to come up with the $200 a month for your medicine. You got to come up with the $25 or your $50 for your copay. Or if they don't take your insurance, you got to pay the full visit. Well, if you ain't got a doctor in network in your area, now you got to find the gas money to go maybe to Charlotte or somewhere else to find the doctor who does take your insurance. So now you done spent gas money and more time. So you up to like 4 bills and you ain't even seen nobody about the illness that you said you got. Then you get there and they tell you got an illness and they give you more medicine. Well, now you just added more money out your pocket when you could have went right on over there to Food Line, or you could went, and I don't get paid from D-Herbs, but maybe I should ask them. You go right over to D-Herbs and spend that same, because you don't spend 100 right here. Add some tax, that 120, get you a good old detox. Judge, I ain't got time to do all of that. So now you've done all of this. The medicines react with each other. You ain't hydrating your body. You feeding it death. Well, now all of these things combine in a narrow way for the perfect storm. And you find yourself in the hospital on the table having another heart attack. Now you got a hospital bill that's $10,000, $15,000. Now you are mad yet again. And the disrespect of yourself. I knew, and now here your thought is, I knew I should have started years ago, but you have the opportunity to start now and you still don't. With more side effects. Do we not even read the bottle of the side? I don't even allow I can't even call them kids. I have grown women, 18 and 25. They're not allowed to, well, we haven't watched commercials in a long time. We mute them because every commercial is a medicine. And this is how your brain works. They will show you a commercial. It says COPD for when later in life, and it suggests to you that as you get older, you're going to have COPD. When you get older, you're going to have migraines. When you get older, you're going to have high blood pressure. And when you do, we want you to remember this drug because we're going to make it better. Oh, but before we make it better, let me inform you that it's going to cause hallucinations, suicidal, mental illness. It's going to cause other issues. It's going to give you diarrhea is going to constipate you. So now they told you were going to be sick. Your mind said, oh, let me store this because when I get this, I'm going to need it. And you're going to remember that drug. So now you got to go buy the drug. You don't forgot the side effects because they told you you were going to be sick and you needed that drug. Now you got the side effects. Now you're paying money. Now you're right back in the same circle. At some point, friend, you're going to have to make a healing marker. Healing marker in the body that says from this point, I can't go and you can't come. At this point, honey, if it's a holistic doctor, no, they're not cheap, but neither is your other stuff either. Neither are the drugs that you put up. Somehow you find $300 to pay all of your medicine every month on top of your regular bills, but you can't take that $300 to buy your groceries. But it's different, JoJo. Okay. Listen, I used to think the same way. Until I ended up in the hospital in isolation. And it was like your whole body has shut down. Not only because of stress. You done stressed yourself the hell out. Your kidneys ain't working. Your liver ain't working. Here's some oxygen because you having trouble breathing. Here's a liquid diet. You ain't fixing to operate like you can't operate like this. And that was the wake-up call for me. Like, oh, my body for real ain't playing. It is a day-by-day process. And you got to put the things in front of you that's going to make it easier for you. So whether it's your mindset, whether mental, emotion, y'all know, let's do a square up exercise, mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, put whatever that thing is that you need to think about or work on, put it before you all the time. So if I need to drink my water, here's my mint and cucumber water. If you need it flavored, honey, throw some strawberries in there. Whatever you need. In your car, you know you're going to be driving. I have a little bag that I keep packed full of apples and oranges and water. So I'm ready to go. I just stick it in the car. Now, that pull to go into a drive-through is strong some days. You hear me? It is overwhelming. And I have to think life or death every single time. Now, I don't want that cheese. Tammy, no, honey, I'll be wanting a cheeseburger. Oh, but I pay a price for that. Now, if you're willing to pay the price, because some days I'll be like, you know what, forget it. I want that cheeseburger, and then I'm sick for the next 3 days. I can't be mad at me because that's the result I got. So you can't be mad when you disrespected yourself, okay? So just like we talked about disrespect of time, the same time it's going to take to go to the doctor and pop the medicine, to take the pill, to deal with the side effects is the same time it's going to take for you to try something new. Just try it. You might like how your body feels after. You might be able to breathe a little bit better. The migraine might go away. The headache might go away. My hip pain went away. I walked with a whole cane. Hip pain went away. And I started, listen, there's a red bird. When I started, I was making $12.26 an hour when I really started to take my health seriously. I worked out in the living room. I went to the Dollar Tree, found a CD for $1, and I got the little dollar weights that they had in there. They were 3 pounds. And the lady said, use a towel. I did my push-ups on the wall. I used the little towel that she showed us and those 3-pound weights. And that's how I started. Then I started. My insurance pays for a chiropractor. I went there. Your insurance pays for visits to a dietitian, a nutritionist, however you want to call them. I went to see a nutritionist. It pays for that. Why not use it? So I used everything. I called the EAP line for your company, and they have all of these tools available to their employees. I got a nutritionist for me, for Rosie. We got some free counseling. Honey, we got discounts at gyms. We got discounts for private workouts. Either you want to respect your time and yourself or you're not. So today, with the wide acknowledgement, this is the conversation I had with myself at 5:44 yesterday morning, is that when we acknowledge our limitations first, and I explain why I'm doing it first, instead of living in the health, don't explain why you're living in the health. This is your way of living now. It doesn't matter why. That why only matters to the person Now, if it's to help somebody understand so they can start the journey, fine. But if it's different, if you're trying to explain or make explain yourself so that they don't give you a hard time. Because listen, my family, Thanksgiving, honey, will eat me alive. Judge, ain't nobody want them sticks and rocks. Don't put that on my table. Like my mama called me. She said, "What you eating?" I said, "Well, I mixed collard greens, mustard greens, and some kale." Lord, that's nasty. What kind of grease did you put in there? I didn't put no grease in it. How did you cook them greens with no grease? I used some vegan seasoning. Vegan, you need a piece of fat back. You ain't got no ham out, Judge. You need a little grease. And then when my kids was growing up, them kids need a little pork in their life, JoJo. Like Rosie never knew what a pork chop was. So when we went home one day and my mama was cooking it, Rosie's like, "What kind of chicken is that?" Because she had never had pork. And I told her, I was like, she stayed for the summer. I was like, don't feed. She's never had pork. Don't feed it to her. Every child need a hot dog. They need it. She ate it, ended up in the hospital. I was like, if your body's not used to it, you can't feed it. Right, Tammy, honey? I mix all of my greens with some kale. And listen, and if I'm feeling really good and don't feel like fixing or cooking the collard greens, I will wipe them off. I'll make me some walnut meat. I'll put walnut meat and some black beans. I'll do and make me a little wrap out of the collard green and eat it just like that because that's good too. Listen, a lot of people think eating right, you're limiting yourself, but you're really not. It's your thought that's limiting you. So I didn't mean to, I don't know how we got down on that window. I think because I was using health as an example, but wide is the way, narrow is the gate is what you're focused on. Okay. So whatever I'm focused on is what's fixing to win, is what I'm going to acknowledge. So on this great, most amazing day, I hope you have a good day. I want you to be peaceful, period, because there's absolutely nothing after that. Okay. There's nothing after that. If you missed yesterday's show, go back and watch it. We talked about disrespect of time and yourself. Right. Listen, my family will not touch none of my food. They won't, because what they will say first is this real? Is this real meat? Like, yeah, Jojo, no, it ain't. So when they come to my house, they come with their own groceries because they won't eat anything in my house. Now, my nephew, my smallest nephew, he will. Like, and because I've taught him how to, I make it fun. Cut your vegetables, make your juices. Like, we make it a whole production to learn how to pick out the fruit. And we go here and we do all the little fun things. So he loves it. My sister, my mama, they come with a grocery bag or you're going to have to take them out to eat because my mom will open up my refrigerator and she said, these poor children, they ain't had a good meal. They don't know what good eating is. Like, mama, this is good eating. You don't have to eat like that anymore if you don't want to. So on this great, most amazing day. And if you want to honor your limitations to say, no, Jojo, I truly have this illness, I'm not going to argue with you. It's true, you do. I'm just saying, can you introduce a new thought into that you could no longer have that illness, that you could possibly live better, that if you walked a little bit, introduce some fruits and vegetables, maybe a little holistic doctor, maybe a good little detox, maybe things could possibly start to change, but you got to be open to the possibility of things. But some of us, we bought so hard into, no, but my doctor said, your doctor is practicing medicine. And I've been in healthcare for 22 years. I love a good doctor. I believe in traditional and non-traditional medicine. And with that statement, please understand that the non-traditional medicine came first. What they consider non-traditional, so your herbs, your vitamins, they came first before regular medicine. Absolutely. Morning to Shana. Miracles happen every day. So you can honor yourself and you can spend $300 a month on your medicine. I'm not saying don't, because your body needs it to survive. Your body needs it to survive because it's become dependent upon it. And you don't know if your body can do anything else because it's been forced to live that way. I'm not a healthcare professional. Please do your own research. But this I know for myself. I'm telling you. So on this most amazing day, Look at the things that you're acknowledging. Look at the focus that you're doing. Yep. And it's okay to, like, I have a holistic doctor. So he gave me, I'm on a 12-week regimen. So that means I take a lot of things, vitamins and herbs, first thing in the morning. And my meal for the next 12 weeks is I have a fruit. I have nothing. And you learn about food combining. So you can only eat melons by themselves. Like if I have a watermelon, I can't eat anything else with it because it messes up how your body breaks down food, because watermelon needs to break down. The melons need to break down by themselves. So watermelon or straight berries, which I just need a fruit in the morning. At lunch, I can have a vegetable or salad, and I need a watery vegetable like the sweet potatoes or anything like that. And then my dinner is fruit. Now I can mix it up where I can have fruit, vegetable, or a salad at dinner. With my last meal at 7, if I need a snack, it will be a fruit, which should be a melon. And so that's my for the next 12 weeks. So I can have cooked foods, but the cooked foods can't be cooked very long. Like they can't be stewed, and they have to still have the crunchiness to them. So that's why we had the mushroom burgers last night with the salad. It was really good. And we don't drink with our meals. We don't drink anything with our meals. And then when I do, it is something warm after my meal. So on this great, most amazing day, I know y'all didn't want to know all my business, and I don't know how we got down on this, but I was feeling it today. So hopefully this helps somebody. I hope it has. And if it has, honey, I appreciate you. If it hasn't, please leave it for somebody else. So on this most amazing day. Tammy, let me tell you, I only cooked too, but you're more than welcome. It was so good. Listen, Shayna, that doctor, when I tell you he wasn't playing with me, he said, Miss White, I don't know how many more ways. He was like, you know this stuff. You're telling me. So why are we having this conversation? I was like, I just wanted to make sure. He said, you didn't need to make sure, you already knew. Maybe you just need validation. He was like, but this is what you're going to have to do. He said, now the choice is yours. You don't have, now it ain't, what it ain't is cheap. But either I'm going to buy this, or I'm fixing to have a hospital bill. And the hospital bill is going to supersede the cost of those herbs. So there we have it. Yep, they are my. I didn't start loving them until in February when I went to a board meeting, and this guy, he made them and put them on the grill, and he served it over some naan, and he made a vegan dressing. Good Lord, when I tell you that vegan dressing was so good, I tried to pack it up and bring it back with me. Yeah, I can't go through the airport like that, but it was so good. Oh, it was good. But on this most amazing day, I want y'all to have a good day. I want you to be peaceful, period, because there's absolutely nothing after that. You ain't got to drink the juice. You ain't got to, because maybe green and juices and all the juices, maybe that's not your thing, but just try something different. Like I could have swore I hated apple juice. Like if you give me store-bought apple juice, I think it's the nastiest thing in the world. However, when I juice my 5 apples, I will drink it all day long. So this morning, we're getting ready to go juice a pineapple, a grapefruit, and some turmeric. That's going to be our juice for the morning. And, for the midday. For the morning, we're going to finish off our water. And I think we're going to just have juice till maybe 1 today. So there we go. So y'all have a good day. Thank you. Listen, I don't know why I chose to tell you my business, but hopefully it's for somebody. So I hope you have the most amazing day. Please make sure you share the show, because sharing is caring. Friends and family don't have Facebook, send them over to the YouTube channel. They can binge watch all the Fearless Morning shows over there. Don't forget Sister Rise, bit.ly/Sister Rise. Grab your ticket. I greatly appreciate it. If you can't come to that, I am hosting a 1-day intensive in Charlotte, so you can grab your tickets to that. But I welcome you to it. It will be an experience I promise you will not forget. So hope you have a great day, and I'll see you guys here bright and early tomorrow morning. Have a good one.